can't be the only one thinking about this, right? Like, is anxiety just a symptom of narcissism? Like, for you to think that everybody is looking at you, obsessing over imagined scenarios, could it be that you're just making everything about you? I'm being so for real. I had to look into the subject because I felt like there is definitely a rise of narcissism, but there's also a rise of anxiety now. And I was like, is it related? Like, okay, so let's get right into it. So first, that's something I already mentioned, but to believe everybody's watching you. Like, you have to feel like all the eyes are on you constantly, imagining judgment that they think about you. The thing is, people, they're mostly self-focused, right? They're not thinking about you. So, what kind of mindset do you have for people to think that they even worry about you in the slightest? Do you worry about others? That's probably the best question to ask here. Because I think people that think like that is because they judge others. They look down on others. So they expect others to look down on them. It's either that or they think they have this self-feeling of grandioseness. Is that how you say it? For them to even think that people worry about them. Like, relax. Nobody's thinking about you like that. So this video is gonna kind of actually be good for people that are anxious. I think it's gonna bring you down to earth a little bit. Or it'll make you scared that it might be like, oh, maybe it's like signs of narcissism. And I don't want that. So maybe that will help in that way. But like, just think of when you stress about your appearance. When nobody notices. And I've been guilty of that. I'm not saying I have not been guilty of anything I'm going to mention, right? Like, I had anxiety sometimes. Not anymore, but I had, okay? And I remember because I had a huge phase of acne, okay? Because my mom got a stroke. Then the next day I woke up and I had 20 pimples on my face. And it stayed there for a year. So every time I was going out, I thought people were looking at my pimples all the time. It was really hard going out in general. Like, I had anxiety from that. But I remember my boyfriend or people around me, they would tell me, I don't even notice unless you tell me. I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at your eyes when you talk. I'm looking at your face. But I'm not looking at your pimples specifically. Like, you can ask most people, if you don't tell them your insecurities, they don't know your insecurities. They don't. Like, unless you put it on display, they don't know because they don't care. Okay? Like, it really requires a grandiose sense of self-importance to even assume that anyone cares deeply about your actions or even your appearance, really. So, if you recognize that's like a narcissistic trait, you can become more humble and reduce your anxiety by so much. Like, oh, that's actually something I had to do for my channel. I was like, everybody's gonna watch my video and then they're all gonna judge me, da-da-da-da. Girl, you have 0 subs. Relax. That's not gonna happen. Like, I had to, like, humble myself. And I think the past 6 months or 7 months, I've been humbling myself. And it's not in a bad way. I think I did it in a really tasteful way, actually. Because if I was not humble, I'd never be able to start my channel. Because I'd think, everybody's watching me, everybody's judging me. What is people gonna think about my voice? What is people gonna think about this? Like, if you're so full of yourself because you have anxiety, or is it because you have anxiety that you're so full of yourself? Either way, like, I could not have been able to start my channel because of that. So, just to talk about the grandiose mindset and anxiety, like, anxiety is often linked to the fact that you think others see you as the center of attention. When most of the time, you're not even the center of attention, and that's it. You're not. Like, stop thinking you're the center of attention. And I'm not saying that in a literal sense, because I know some pretty girls, they're definitely the center of attention. For me, example, at work, I feel like I'm the center of attention a lot because I dress really nicely, I'm skinny, and again, I'm really younger than the most average office worker. I work with boomers and Gen X. So as a Gen Z there, it's like I stand out like a sore thumb. And it's not necessarily because of my beauty, it's because of my age, my voice, how I look. It's a lot of things. So, but most of the time, people don't take you that seriously, okay? Like, I think I had to take myself so much less seriously for me to start my channel. Like, it's not that serious. So I can just post and so I can just record, edit my video. Takes like 3 hours, post it online. Boom, it's done. It's not that serious. But I remember when I was taking YouTube like very seriously, like I was brainstorming to start, I was like, okay, I need to learn everything about editing. I need to have the best visuals on screen. Oh, I need a script so I don't miss anything out. I need a good mic. I need a camera if I'm gonna be on screen. Oh, I can't wear the same outfit if I'm gonna batch record. Like, I was thinking of every single thing. Like, it makes me sick just thinking about it again. And instead I was like, I'm just gonna try. I'm gonna do my best. And honestly, it's not that serious. So if I don't do my best, it's okay. Like, I think that's what's so nice about my channel, actually. I'm not doing it for money. Like, I've told you guys, I work in IT, okay? And at my age, I almost make like $100K a year. And I don't like saying that out loud because I feel like I'm gonna jinx it or something. But I make so much money for someone my age, okay? I don't need YouTube to make more money. I'm at a comfortable place. And if you're familiar with the pyramid of Maslow, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. At the bottom, my food, my body, my health, my sleep, it's all figured out. My friendship, relationships, sex, everything like in that department is covered. Like everything like is taken care of. So I'm at the top of the pyramid right now that I can just express myself creatively. Because being creative in this day and age is actually a luxury. You have to take care of everything so you can express yourself in a creative manner without feeling pressure or just feeling like, oh, instead of buying a $300 mic, maybe I should buy myself food because I don't have enough food this month. Like, I don't have to make that trade in my head because I'm in such a comfortable spot right now that first I can talk to you guys how I got this comfortable, but also I can talk to you guys without worrying about anything else. It's a luxury. So, yeah. Back to the topic. So, just thinking of some people that say it's hard to go outside, usually it's driven by a self-importance mindset. Because you think people are looking at you. There's too many people. They're gonna make you feel a type of way. They're not gonna ask you the wrong questions. They're gonna do everything about you, right? It's always about you. But what you need to realize is the world doesn't revolve around you in your actions. Nobody cares about you. Like, you could pick your nose. Someone see you pick your nose. They forgot an hour later. I'm being so for real. And then you're probably thinking about, oh, this person saw me picking my nose. Da, 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 da. Okay. The person doesn't care. I promise you. They don't care. Like, especially people that are winners. And that's the people you want to care about, right? Those kind of people that are doing well in life, that you want to know their game or something like that, right? The people that are winning, you care about what they think. These people, they're so worried or so concerned or so busy with winning. They don't care about your little losses here and there. They don't even care about you like that. Okay? Like, and the losers that are below you and they see you pick your nose, oh, they're gonna use that until you die, okay? They're gonna use that forever because they have nothing to worry about. They're losers. They don't have a job. They have nothing to win with, if that makes sense. Like, there's this thing going on YouTube, and I think it's like the drama side of YouTube. They'll always say like, oh, this is a good day for the unemployed and stuff like that. It's people that, these are problems that people that don't have jobs would care about, basically. And the way they're saying it is just people that have no aspirations, no ambitions, and nothing important to worry about, they'll end up worrying about things that don't matter. So celebrity gossip or just drama, stuff like that. So the people that are going to think about, oh, this person picked their nose, I just saw it, oh my god. People that are going to obsess over that are losers. They're not winners. People that win, they don't even worry about you like that. They're like, oh, you did that? Okay, gross, whatever. And then they move on. That's it. So even if you think people are going to judge you, it's people that are going to be below you that just want to find a way to bring you down with them that are going to worry about that. And people that are winning, they don't care. So at the end of the day, don't care about what anybody thinks because nobody cares, and the people that care, they're losers. That's what I'm saying. Another thing I noticed is they're dramatic. They exaggerate a lot. So feeling suffocated or dying from a minor discomfort is dramatic, guys. Like, I don't even know how else to explain it. This is super dramatic. Like, I know you feel that way, but like, take a step back. This is what I'm talking about in all my videos. If something is going wrong in your life, take a step back, breathe, and you're gonna be okay. Most cases, okay? And I've lived with the college life, the stress of friendships, and I've lived with those things, and it's stressful, I get it. I had like my cat going to the vet, that stressed me out. I take a step back and I breathe. Step back, breathe. And I don't know if some of you watch BoJack Horseman, but at some point there's this publicist. I think it's in season 3 or 4. But basically, she said this story about herself, that she was in a car crash, and when she crashed, she landed in water, like in a river. And when she opened her eyes, since it was at night, it was pitch black. And she said she didn't know which way was up anymore. And the only way she knew which way was up or down is by breathing. So she saw the bubbles go up. And that's when she knew where up was. All that to say, take a step back and breathe, and you're gonna be okay. And again, panicking over small inconveniences, like, it highlights your exaggerated thinking. And narcissism, it thrives on drama. So when you identify this, you can reduce your anxiety response by so much, okay? And I feel like I have to make like this circle now, that if you're being dramatic, that will translate into anxiety. And that anxiety will translate into narcissism, because you think people even care about you. People, they even look at you. They care about your actions. They don't. They really don't. Okay? And sometimes the way those narcissist tendencies show up is because you don't even care that much, but you think people are going to care that much about your actions. How does that make any sense? That doesn't make sense. See, this is disordered thinking. When you catch yourself being dramatic, and then it turns into anxiety, and then that slowly turns into a narcissism, like, okay, be like, it's not that serious. I'm not that serious. People don't take my actions that seriously. If they do worry about my actions that seriously, they're weird. Who worry about some other people like that? That's weird behavior. So relax, take a deep breath, step back. And also, that's another typical thing about anxiety. People would imagine scenarios. That is the most counterproductive thing you can ever do, by the way. Like, if you have the luxury of overthinking, that's also like a luxury if you really think about that. Like, imagine you're so privileged in life that you can worry about scenarios that are never gonna happen. like I think it's because I grew up poor or something, but I did not think about my imaginary problems because I had actual problems, right? Like, I wish I could worry about imaginary problems. Like, oh my goodness. But yeah, so, and there's this concept called like radical acceptance, and I'm gonna put a photo on screen, but basically there's two type of people in life. There's the type of people that say, it's raining, my day sucks now. And there's other people that are like, it's raining, I accept this. This is a fact. There's nothing I can do about it. And again, it always comes down to controlling what is within your control and letting go or accepting things that are not within your control. If it's raining and it's ruining your day, like, be so for real. So practice acceptance, and that will reduce anxiety like so much, because again, anxiety is fueled by narcissistic traits of self-importance and excessive control. And this is coming from a triple Virgo, okay? I want everything to be within my control. I have graphs, I have notes for everything in my life, okay? Like, I have a plan for everything in my life. There's nothing that is unplanned, like like, I live like a robot, basically, okay? So I want control on everything. And even me, sometimes I'm like, okay, let me take a step back. Can I realistically control the outcome of this? No. What can I do to control this outcome? This and that. Is overthinking gonna help? No. Is it gonna make me feel worse? Yes. Okay, I'm gonna stop doing that. Like, I feel like sometimes, especially women, unfortunately, I guess, I don't wanna just say that, but it's just how it is. we're too much in touch with our emotional side. And I want you to look at it this way. You know how women are always like, men, they lack their emotional side, they don't practice it, and they're too much on the logical. I think this is what's happening with women. They're too much in their emotional and not enough in their logical. Sometimes there are things that they're not in your control. Crying about it, complaining about it will not do anything. Overthinking will not do anything about it. You're not the center of attention. Nobody cares that happened to you. What you can do though is let it go. Accept it and move on. And stop thinking that everybody thinks about you all the time. Nobody thinks about you. Nobody cares about you. Like, if they care about you, it's weird. Like, unless they're family, obviously. Like, I shouldn't have to say that. That's pretty normal. But anybody, like even your coworkers, like if they think about you like that, that's weird. I don't even know my coworker's last name. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about them. Like, if they know that much about me or they care that much about me, they talk about me after work, that's weird. Who cares? Like, I'm even too busy to even have the mindset of like, what are my coworkers thinking about me because I said this? No, because I'm working on my YouTube. No, because I'm working on a new recipe right now. I'm working on different ways to be healthier, or I'm reading a book. And this comes down to what I was saying earlier. Overthinking is such a luxury. And I'm sure some people that grew up poor in the comments, they will tell me the same thing, okay? If you have the luxury to overthink, congrats. Because most people, they have to worry about real problems. And you're worrying about problems that don't exist. Congrats. I'm jealous of you. I wish I had so little problems in my life. But yeah, my other point was self-hatred is often hidden by anxiety. So if you believe everybody hates you, because that's also another common point that anxious people have, it shows that you have lack of self-acceptance. Because anxiety, it decreases when you accept and align with who you truly want to be. If you accept yourself. If you don't focus on everything that's broken with you, you won't think that people focus on that either. They don't focus on how you stutter. They don't focus on how your voice is weird. They don't focus on how your hair is not looking good. They don't focus on that because you don't focus on that. If you focus on that, it's natural to think that, oh, yeah, they probably think about that because you think about that. And if you do think about that, then you should do something about it. And that's another thing I've noticed with anxious people. They embrace the anxiety, they know where it's coming from, but they don't do anything to better the situation. And again, that's another fault I've spoken about in another video with Gen Z specifically. They know what their problems are. They can tell you the diagnosis, the description of the diagnosis, and then you ask them, what are you doing about that? They don't know. It's like, oh, it's just part of who I am. It's just who I am. Like, that's where it stops. And if you've done any philosophical classes in college or you've read a book, you know this is like the most problematic way of thinking you could ever have. You don't diagnose yourself. You don't find the root cause just to not deal with the problem. That is the dumbest thing ever. That's like, just picture this. That's like me finding out that my CPU on my computer is defective. Oh, my computer is just broken. Oh, but you know the CPU is a problem. Yeah. Wait, so why don't you fix the CPU? Well, it's just how my computer is. Like, you know how retarded I sound right now? Like, especially if you have like a little bit of knowledge in tech. Like, that's like saying, my iPhone battery is garbage. And the reason why is because I use it too much. And I'm on my phone 12 hours a day. And I let it overheat. And I charge and use it at the same time. Okay, so your battery is garbage for all those reasons. You know why. You know when it started, everything. Are you gonna replace the battery? No, but the battery's garbage. Okay, but you should replace the battery, right? Or at least don't use it 12 hours in a row. No. That's just who I am. That's just how I use my phone. See how retarded that sounds? Like, it sounds... Oh my god. It just sounds like we want to know what the problem is. We want to explain to everybody. We want to use it as an excuse, but we're not gonna fix the problem. I think that's the approach with a lot of people with anxiety that they have. They think, I know exactly what my problem is. I know exactly what triggers it. You're triggering me. They use that excuse. Okay, but how about you work on yourself so you don't get triggered again? Because that means everything is outside of your control at this point. You're going to let people trigger you and control your emotions. You know what the problem is, but you're going to still overthink. even though you know overthinking is the problem. Like, I'm not saying you resolve this in a week. I've had problems that took me 5 years to fix, but I was working on fixing it day after day. You can do that too. So yeah, if you're the type of person that thinks everybody hates you, do you even love yourself? If you don't, write down everything you don't like about yourself, fix it. And again, I feel like it always goes to appearance for women, but I'm not talking about appearance, okay? I'm just talking about in general. If you think people hate you because you stutter all the time, okay, how about go on ChatGPT and say, can I have a line I can read out loud in practice so I reduce my stuttering? Can you act like a speech therapist and give me tips? Like, you can do things to fix it. For free. ChatGPT. For free. Because I feel like helpless people, they tend to say, oh, it's not free. It's not free. It's free most of the time. You can go to a library to get a book if you really wanted to. But the thing is, you really don't want to. That's the difference. But yeah, if everybody hates you, you have to fix what's inside. Because you think everybody hates you because you don't like yourself. Okay? Or you accept it. That's another thing you can do. And I think accepting your flaws is also a very powerful way to go about it, especially when it's physical appearance. Like for me, I remember I've been always skinny, right? I never had curves growing up, and I would get called a plank by my family. And I said to I was like 13, 14 at the time, right? I even told myself, I was like, okay, my options are I gain weight, and I become exactly what I don't want to become, and I've worked so hard not to become my whole life because my whole family is fat. I don't want to become like them. Or I accept the fact that I'm skinny, and it comes with the territory. Acceptance here is great. I'm not saying you have a bad attitude, you're an angry type of person, and you're accepting it. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you can do it in parts of your life that it makes sense. That fighting it every day, that's something that's not within your control, it's usually what people think about you, you have to accept it. And if it's something that people think about you and it has some reasons for it, like some valid reasons, retrospect. I swear to God, most of our problem, like 99% of our problem, if you retrospect, see your options, look at the alternative. If you like the alternative, do it. If you don't like the alternative, stay the way you are. Again, at the end of the day, everything you do in life is a choice. Whatever you're not choosing, you're accepting, you're choosing that. Okay, so it's in life, you either have plan A or plan B. And sometimes you have a plan C that you've never thought of. So sometimes you just have to think harder. If you see your options are plan A and plan B, there's actually this test you can take, and it's like basically I think it's 9 dots on the screen, and they tell you connect all the dots without making any line cross, something like that. And that's the only rule. And most people, they can't resolve it because they can't think outside the box. Even myself, the first time I saw it, I could not resolve it because in your head, you have rules and you think you have to follow those rules because you have those rules. But the exam doesn't have those rules. Other people don't have those rules. It's you that you have those rules. For example, this is like something I struggle with myself. I think you're beautiful without acne. If you have acne, it means you're not beautiful. I know this is a radical way of thinking. That's how I see it because I've had acne, I have struggled with it my whole life and it hurts my self-esteem, okay? So for me, I had to fix my acne in order to be beautiful. That rule, it's not for everybody. Most people, they see people with acne and they don't really see the acne. They don't think that's taking away from the beauty. That's not a rule everybody has. That's a rule that I have. So when I say, oh, this person is ugly, it's usually because they have acne and I have this rule that's like, since I've had acne my whole life and I find it ugly, now if I see people with acne, I think it's ugly. That's like a rule that you have in your head. Most people will be like, no, this person actually looks great. What's wrong with them? And then you're like, oh, they have acne. Then most people would be like, so? So you have to realize you have pre-made rules in your head that most people don't have. That's just reality. Just think about how some people go out with their bonnets. Most pretty girls, we can all agree we have that internal rule that going outside with your bonnet is wrong and gross and disgusting. But let me tell you, most people, they go out with their bonnet. It's not a rule in their head that they cannot go out with a bonnet on their head. It's actually normal. It's actually not a problem. believe it or not. So I have those rules. Everybody have those rules in their head that if they don't have X, Y, and Z, they can't do A, B, C. But you have to undo those rules because it really only hurts you. And again, like I said, the example for my rule, the acne part, it only hurt me in the end. It doesn't hurt anybody else, just me. So I have to undo that rule or follow the rule. So accept the rule or work against it. Get rid of the acne. So I either accept the fact that that's not true. Not a lot of people that have acne, they're ugly. That's not true. Or I can say, I'm going to fix my acne because this rule is true. So remember, you have those rules in your head. You have to deconstruct. Otherwise, you only hurt yourself. And lastly, this is actually something I wanted to cover for a long time. Your soul and your body, they have different goals, okay? So your brain, it will stress you because the goal for your brain is survival. So actually creating anxiety for you is actually a win. It's actually great. That's what your brain wants. Because that way you will avoid situations that put you in danger or risk of death, even though it's not going to happen. They still put it there. But your soul is seeking growth, peace, and actualization. I've mentioned this before, but there's a pyramid of Maslow that basically what it says is you need to be at peace. You need your brain to not be in survival mode anymore for you to self-actualize, okay? So possibly your brain maybe wants you to create music or art or paintings or YouTube, right? But it can't do that if your brain is still in survival mode. So you're missing food, missing sleep, missing friends, missing a boyfriend, girlfriend, missing family, have health problems. You can't self-actualize with those things in the way. So a lot of people, the problem is they skip that pyramid foundation and they go straight at the top. They say like, I want to create music. And that gives them anxiety because, first of all, they can't afford to worry about making music right now because you don't even have food on the table. You don't sleep well. Okay? So your brain will tell you, stop making music. And then you'll have this internal battle and it won't go away until you fix your foundation. So there's that part. But also, the second part of this is realize that maybe your brain, you could have all the foundations possible, but if you want to create music and you want to expose yourself to other people, your brain logically will be like, expose yourself to other people? That might jeopardize my survivability. So I don't want you to create music. I don't want you to be on YouTube. I don't want you to go outside today because if you're exposed to other people, they might kill you. Oh, you might get in a car crash. You might, it will stop you from doing a lot of things. Your brain, that's the goal of your brain. You don't do something unless it's survival related. So it will stop you from self-actualizing. So the best way to go about this is realize if you don't have anxiety while doing things, that's actually not normal. You should have anxiety when you try new things, when you're exposed to different things, when you want to try different things like creating music, creating YouTube videos, creating paintings. It should be anxiety inducing because your brain tells you like, oh, if you have time to paint right now, shouldn't you have time to make food? Shouldn't you have time to sleep? Like it'll try to bring you somewhere safe or more quote unquote productive. Because I feel like people don't realize how creativity in any shape or form is a privilege. You don't, most people will never have the privilege to worry about that, about their creativity. Because they have so many other things that are more productive to worry about. And their brain will always try to push them in that direction to be productive. Make friends, make food, sleep. They can't go, and most people can't break that barrier because they have anxiety and they never want to embrace anxiety. So that's another part of anxiety. You have to accept it. Radical acceptance. It's going to be there. It's never going to go away. And it's how you deal with it that's going to make the change. Yes, going to interviews, nobody is excited and having fun at interviews. It's always stressful a little bit because you're like wondering what's going to happen. But another thing I've noticed, that's what I do now. Instead of saying I'm anxious, I say I'm excited. So I have this job interview, I'm excited. I'm posting this new video, I'm excited. I'm never saying I'm anxious because I think the way you talk to yourself is also very, very, very important. Because if you use words with negative connotations, you will get negative results in your life. I really believe that. So if you say you're excited, it like rewires your brain in a positive way And it actually makes you look forward to those rush of adrenaline because you get like a rush from the anxiety. But you see it in a positive way this time because I like having anxiety because it means I'm doing something different. It means I'm evolving. It means growth. It means that I'm doing something different. That's exciting to me. If I never felt any anxiety, which that stresses me out because especially right now in the part of my life that I'm in, I'm so comfortable. I have no problems at all. I'm at pure peace, okay? Like my biggest problem is if my shampoo runs out. I've reached the peak of comfort. So when I feel comfortable for too long, I feel disgusted with myself, I get stressed, that's when it hits me. But when I feel anxiety, I know I'm doing something right because I'm doing something different. So yeah, you should see it that way. I feel like it helped me so much. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Relax, take it easy. Nobody's looking at you. Nobody's judging your actions. And if you think they are, it's probably because you're judging yourself. And if you're judging yourself, do something about it. Don't just judge yourself all the time and think people are judging you until you're 30 and 40. Like, look inside. Say, why do I think they're judging me? Why is that? And that's another thing I've came to realize this year, how much projection people do, even myself. Sometimes, like, I've said this example earlier, like, oh, this person, I don't find her pretty because she has pimples. That's me projecting because I don't find myself pretty when I have pimples. That's me projecting. So most of the problems you have with other people and yourself, if you have any problem with other people, typically it's projection. It's they have something you have or you don't have, and it makes you mad. So they have pimples, you have pimples, you struggled, and look at them. They're not having any struggles. They look pretty confident. Why is that? That makes me mad. Or they don't have pimples and now you're jealous of them, so you want to put them down to make you feel better. Okay? This is like, this is internal conversations I had to have with myself. And this is like a really surface level one. It's like acne is not a big deal. But there's like, obviously, like worse ones out there that can ruin your life, like jealousy and envy. If you're jealous of something, clock yourself. Why? If you hate on something, that's what I started doing actually. As soon as you hate on something, ask yourself why. I don't like this, ask yourself why. Ask yourself why. For example, I hate when I see people with tattoos and piercings because I know they're ruining their future. I know they are. I know everybody has free will, but I know they're ruining their future. And there's just so many layers to this that no family member bothered telling them, I think that's heartbreaking that they had no like guidance to tell them, hey, you shouldn't do that. And another thing I think is sad is they'll never be at their full potential. I think that's heartbreaking. And the third one, the most important one, is if I saw a family that way, that would crush me. And I think everybody's so quick to say, mind your business, do whatever you want. But as soon as they would see family, their niece, their nephew doing that, they would be heartbroken. So I hate when people use that mindset, like, let them do whatever they want. Who cares? It does not concern you. You say that, but those people, they're going to influence people that I love. And that's what hurts me. And I don't want to see another person like me that we probably went through similar struggles, okay? I didn't have the easiest life in my life, okay? Like, just to give you guys an idea, a lot of people, when I tell them my story, they're like, oh my God, I wonder how you didn't end up in the system. That's what they tell me. Like, I'm not going to go in details into it right now, obviously, but just to give you an idea, I did not have an easy upbringing. I was not growing up with money. I did not grow up with a lot of food, but I still turned out good because I had to retrospect, like, hey, what's going on? With the people around me, they're not doing great. What's going on? What can I improve? What should I look out for? And most people, I feel like they're so comfortable already in an early age, and I was never comfortable in an early age, so I had to retrospect early, I had to mature early, I had to do those things early, and in a sense, now, I'm grateful for that. I feel like I don't want people to go through that, but I'm really grateful that it happened to me because in another universe, I never did retrospection and I'm probably still a degenerate, gaming 12 hours a day, jobless. Maybe I have piercings, maybe I have blue hair, and then I cry about not getting a job. That could be my life. But retrospecting will literally, you'll finally be at your full potential if you do that. If you don't retrospect, you'll never know what it's like, you'll never have a taste of it, and you'll never experience it. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Let me know if you guys live a similar experience. Let me know if you guys seen people destroy their life this way. Let me know what you think. But yeah, I'll see you ladies in the next video. Bisous. Mwah. Bye bye.